What's up, Lions faithful? Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, your home for the freshest updates, breaking news, and the deepest dive into everything Detroit Lions. Today, I've got something that's been keeping me up at night, something that could reshape our entire defensive identity moving forward. Stick with me through this one, because what I'm about to break down might just be the missing piece Brad Holmes has been searching for. Sunday Night Football against Philadelphia is looming large, but while our boys are preparing for that massive showdown, the front office isn't sleeping. They're working, they're scouting, and they're building for sustained dominance. See, this organization has proven time and time again that they know how to identify talent before everyone else catches on. We've seen it with Aiden Hutchinson, we've seen it with Brian Branch, and I'm telling you right now, they're locked in on someone who could be the next cornerstone of our secondary. The college football landscape on Saturday is absolutely loaded with talent, and Detroit's scouts are going to be all over the place. But there's one name that keeps popping up in my conversations with people who know this game inside and out. A player who's been tested against elite competition week in and week out. A player who has the size, the instincts, and the production that fits exactly what Aaron Glenn built here before taking the Jets job, and what our current defensive staff is continuing to perfect. Let me paint you a picture of where we are right now as a franchise. The Lions have established themselves as one of the premier organizations in the NFL. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have created a culture of winning, of physicality, of relentless pursuit of excellence. But championship teams aren't built in one offseason. They're built through continuous improvement, through identifying needs before they become problems, through strategic draft positioning that keeps the pipeline flowing with young, hungry talent. Our secondary has been solid, don't get me wrong, but when you're competing for Super Bowls, solid isn't enough. You need game changers. You need players who can lock down the opponent's best receiver, who can make quarterbacks think twice before throwing to their side of the field. You need corners who can play man coverage, who understand zone concepts, who can tackle in the run game, and who have the mental makeup to bounce back from the inevitable completions that happen in this league. That's where Saturday becomes critical. While most fans are focused on Sunday's primetime showdown, the real chess moves are happening on college campuses across America. SEC football provides the best testing ground for future NFL talent, and there's a cornerback playing for South Carolina who has been absolutely battling against some of the most explosive offenses in college football. Brandon Sissy is the name you need to remember. This 6-foot, 190-pound corner out of South Carolina has been turning heads all season long, and for good reason. He's got the size that NFL teams covet, he's got the athleticism to stay with speedy receivers, he's got the physicality to support the run game, and most importantly, he's got the tape that shows he can perform against elite competition. Let me break down what makes Sissy so special, and why I genuinely believe Detroit should be all over this kid. First, let's talk about his production this season. 1 interception and 4 pass deflections might not jump off the page immediately, but context matters. Sissy has been going up against some of the best receiving corps in the SEC week after week. We're talking about offenses that are putting multiple receivers in the NFL every single year. The fact that he's consistently in position to make plays tells you everything you need to know about his instincts and technique. Current mock drafts have Sissy projected as a first-round pick, likely in the second half of the opening night. That puts him right in the conversation for teams picking in the 20 to 32 range, which is exactly where playoff teams like Detroit will be selecting. Brad Holmes has shown he's not afraid to trade up if he loves a player, and he's also proven he can identify value when others miss it. What really excites me about Sissy as a Lions prospect is how perfectly he fits what we do defensively. We play a lot of man coverage. We ask our corners to be physical at the line of scrimmage. We need guys who can tackle in space because of how much we load the box to stop the run. Sissy checks every single one of those boxes. His tape against top SEC competition shows a corner who isn't afraid of contact, who understands leverage, and who has the ball skills to create turnovers when opportunities present themselves. Saturday's game against Texas A&M is going to be massive for his draft stock. The Aggies are ranked 3rd in the country, and they've got playmakers all over the field. This is the type of game where elite prospects either solidify their status or raise questions. I'm expecting Sissy to show out because that's what he's done all year when the lights are brightest. Now, Let's talk about what this means for Detroit specifically. Our cornerback room has been good, but we need to continue adding young talent to keep the competition fierce and the depth chart strong. The NFL is a league where injuries happen, where players leave in free agency, where you can never have too many good corners. Adding someone like Sissy in the 2026 draft would give us another young building block to grow with Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Branch, and the rest of our defensive core. Think about the trajectory of this organization. We went from laughingstock to legitimate contender in just a few years. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because Brad Holmes identified the right players, because Dan Campbell built the right culture, because everyone in the building is committed to excellence. Adding Sissy would be another step in that journey, another piece of the puzzle that keeps us competing for championships for years to come. The scouting process is far from over. There's still a lot of football to be played, both at the college level and in the pre-draft process. Sissy will go through the combine, he'll have his pro day, teams will interview him extensively. But the tape doesn't lie, and what I see on tape is a first-round talent who could absolutely thrive in Detroit's system. I know some of you might be thinking we have other needs, other positions to address. And you're not wrong. The beauty of having multiple draft picks and a smart front office is that we can address multiple needs. But cornerback is a premium position in today's NFL. You can never have too many good corners, especially in a conference where we're facing Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and other elite receivers multiple times a year. Saturday's slate of college football is going to be fascinating for so many reasons, but keep your eyes on that South Carolina versus Texas A&M game at noon Eastern. Watch number whatever Sissy wears, watch how he handles press coverage, watch how he plays the ball in the air, watch how he tackles in the run game. That's your potential future Detroit Lion right there. Before we wrap this up, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Brandon Sissy as a potential Lions draft target? Do you like the idea of using a first-round pick on a corner, or would you rather see us go in a different direction? Are there other positions you think are more pressing needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I read every single one, and I love hearing different perspectives from Lions Nation. If you want to stay locked in on all the latest Lions news, rumors, and analysis, make sure you're subscribed to Lions News Fan Report and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We're here every single day, bringing you the content you need to stay ahead of the curve. Let's keep building something special together, Lions faithful. 1. Pride.